In the beginning, God declared his intention for humanity with thunderous clarity. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. That is not just a religious verse. That is a constitutional decree. It is the foundational mandate of the kingdom. You were not made to merely survive. You were not designed just to exist until death. You were born for dominion. Your life was never meant to be forgotten. It was created to leave a mark. God didn't create you to come to earth and pay bills, clock hours, chase temporary pleasures, and then disappear into history. No. You were birthed into this generation to carry out an assignment, to represent the kingdom, and to build a legacy that would outlive you. Heaven did not release you into the earth to waste time. You were deployed here as a representative of royalty. And until you understand that, you will never fully walk in power, nor will you build anything that lasts beyond your lifetime. But hear me now. The kingdom is within you. That means your legacy is already encoded into your spiritual DNA. The question is not if you have purpose. The question is whether you will awaken to it. Now let me talk to the pain behind your smile, the silent war in your soul. Because some of you reading this right now feel lost in a world of noise. You've achieved success by the world's standards. Maybe you've got the job, the house, the applause, but your heart still whispers, there must be more. That ache is not depression. That longing is not failure. It's the sound of purpose crying out. It's your kingdom identity telling you that you were not made to be a copy. You were designed to be a catalyst. But religion has lied to you. The world has mislabeled you. Circumstances have wounded you. And the devil has done his job to distract you from your mandate. Some of you are so busy making a living, you've forgotten to make a life. You've been running, but not advancing, existing, but not building. I came to wake you up today, not to shame you, but to remind you of who you are. You are not a product of chance. You are not a random combination of cells. You are a citizen of the kingdom. You were born for dominion. And when you were born again, you didn't just receive forgiveness, you were restored to rulership. That's the difference between religion and the kingdom. Religion prepares you to escape the earth. The kingdom equips you to impact it. And if you're going to build a legacy life, you must reclaim your dominion. You must shift your mindset, your values, your priorities, and your vision. You cannot lead what you don't understand, and you cannot build what you have not first seen in the Spirit. Let me share something personal. I remember when I first began to understand that God wasn't just interested in getting me to heaven. He was determined to bring heaven through me. That realization messed me up. I had spent years trying to be a good Christian, following rules, attending services, checking religious boxes, until one day God confronted me with this question: if you died today, what would you have built that carries my name? That question pierced my soul, because I realized I had been busy but not fruitful. I had been active but not impactful. I had been surviving but not building. That was the day I cried out, God, don't just save me, activate me. And maybe that's your cry right now. Maybe you're tired of meaningless motion. Maybe you're done with shallow success. Maybe you're ready to live a life that outlasts you. If that's you, hear me loud and clear. The kingdom is within you. It's not far off. It's not in a distant future. It's not only for the pulpit, the preacher, or the prophet. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. That means the same creative force that formed galaxies, the same breath that spoke worlds into being, the same wisdom that shaped the ages, it all resides inside your spirit. And when you align with that truth, you will build something that cannot be shaken. But here's the problem. We live in a world that has traded legacy for likes. We've exchanged purpose for popularity. We chase trends, not truth. We follow crowds instead of being led by the Spirit. We've built platforms, but not principles. But a legacy life is not measured by fame. It's measured by faithfulness. You were not called to be famous. You were called to be faithful. Faithful to the assignment. Faithful to the mandate. Faithful to the King. And legacy is not built overnight. It is forged through consistent obedience to kingdom principles. God will not bless who you pretend to be. He will not anoint what you've copied. But when you surrender your gift, your time, your mind, your vision, He will breathe on it and cause it to bless generations. That's what happened to Abraham. He wasn't famous when God called him. He was faithful. He obeyed. He believed. And because of that, he didn't just live a good life. He built a nation. Hear this. If you obey God, your life will become a blueprint. If you embrace kingdom principles, you won't just touch your circle. You'll transform your bloodline. But if you ignore your purpose, your life will be a warning instead of a witness. I came to tell you, wake up. You were not created to repeat cycles. You were born to establish kingdom culture. And don't tell me it's too late. Age is not your limitation. Your mindset is. Moses was 80 when he began. Sarah gave birth at 90. Jesus started at 30 and changed the course of eternity in 3.5 years. The kingdom is not bound by time. Legacy is not a matter of age. It's a matter of alignment. If you will align with the kingdom, God will accelerate you. But here's the cost. You must think differently. You must live intentionally. You must be willing to stand alone, because legacy builders don't blend in. They break ground. They see differently. They hear differently. They walk by conviction, not convenience. And they understand that obedience is more powerful than opinion. You will not build a legacy trying to please everyone. You must decide, do I want applause now or impact forever? Because you cannot do both. Kingdom builders are not always understood, but they are always remembered. And if you will dare to believe again, if you will dare to obey, you will see God move through your life in ways that will cause your children's children to say, because of them, we walk in freedom. You cannot build a legacy without a vision that outlives your own lifetime. If all your dreams die with you, you didn't dream big enough. You must begin to see through the eyes of purpose. Stop asking, what do I want to do with my life? And start asking, what has God already written into the blueprint of my life? You didn't come into this world to find purpose. You came to fulfill it. Purpose is not invented. It is discovered. It is revealed by the Creator to the created. And when you see it, when you finally understand that your life is a key to someone else's freedom, you will stop wasting time on meaningless pursuits. You were born for dominion. You were not made to borrow culture from the world. You were sent to establish kingdom culture in the earth. And that begins with a change in thinking. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That's not psychology. That's spiritual law. So if you want to live a legacy life, you must reprogram your mind with kingdom principles. Principles are eternal. They don't change. They don't bend to culture. They are the same in every generation. And when you build your life on principles instead of trends, you build something that lasts. Let me make this personal again. I remember when I lost everything, when I was broke, frustrated, and invisible to the systems of man. Nobody knew my name. Nobody invited me to speak. I was invisible. But I had a word. I had a vision. And I had a conviction that God did not create me to die unknown. So I made a decision. I would not wait for someone to validate me. I would build what God put in my heart, even if nobody clapped, even if nobody showed up. And I built, I studied, I prayed, I invested, I refined my thinking, and little by little, God began to breathe on my obedience. The vision began to grow, the doors began to open, the books began to sell, the messages began to spread. But hear me, it didn't start with a platform, it started with a principle. The kingdom is within you. And if you will start there, if you will steward what God has already given you, He will enlarge your territory. God is not looking for perfection. He's looking for alignment. And when you align your life with kingdom principles, He will make your name known, not for your ego, but for His glory. One of those principles is understanding your assignment. You cannot build a legacy trying to be everything. You must know your lane. You must know your mountain. You must know your people. David was not assigned to build the temple. Solomon was. Moses was assigned to bring them out. Joshua was assigned to take them in. Jesus didn't travel the world. He fulfilled his mission in a tiny region of the earth, but that mission shifted eternity. You don't need to do it all. You just need to do what you were born to do. And once you know it, guard it. Don't let opinions distract you. Don't let critics detour you. Don't let comfort kill your calling. Every assignment will be tested. But the test is confirmation that your life is weighty enough to matter. The enemy does not fight what is irrelevant. He fights what is essential. And you are essential to God's plan. So take your calling seriously. Take your assignment seriously. Take your gifts seriously. You don't have time to play small. The kingdom is waiting. The next generation is watching. And heaven is cheering you on. You were not born to blend in. You were born to establish kingdom dominion. Another principle of legacy is generational transference. Whatever you do must outlive you, or it's not worthy of your time. When God speaks to Abraham, he doesn't just say, "I will bless you." He says, "I will make you a great nation." That means God's vision for your life always includes seed. What you build must bless others. It must equip others. It must train others. If you are the only one holding the vision, it will die with you. But if you multiply it, if you disciple, if you teach, if you mentor, if you raise up others to carry it, then your life becomes a legacy. And don't you dare think you have nothing to offer. Your pain is someone's survival manual. Your scars are someone's map to healing. Your victories are someone's roadmap to purpose. Share it, write it, pass it on. Jesus didn't just preach, he trained, he imparted, he transferred. And when he left a movement, not a monument. That is legacy. You don't need to be rich to leave an inheritance. You need to be wise. Wisdom is the wealth of the kingdom. And when you pass on wisdom, you pass on power. You cannot lead what you don't understand, and you cannot multiply what you haven't mastered. So build well, build slow, build with purpose, because what you build will become the standard for those who come after you. And here is the final principle I'll leave with you before I call you to action. You must live with eternal vision. You are not just building for this generation. You are preparing the way for the next one. The Bible says, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children." That means a kingdom man or woman doesn't just think 2 steps ahead, they think 2 generations ahead. You must ask yourself, what kind of spiritual culture am I leaving behind? What kind of mentality am I passing down? Will your children have to fight the same battles you've already won, or will they stand on your shoulders and go further? That's the question of legacy. Don't just pass on assets, pass on assignments. Let them inherit a vision. Let them inherit a mindset. Let them inherit a spirit of excellence. Let them inherit a reverence for the King. The kingdom is within you, but it must not die with you. It must be passed on, cultivated, protected, multiplied. Now is the time to make a decision. Now is the moment to stop drifting and start building. This is not just another motivational message. This is a divine interruption. God is calling you out of passivity. He is calling you out of spiritual amnesia. He is calling you out of the crowd and back into your kingdom assignment. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You have not missed your season. If you're breathing, you're still on the clock. If you're alive, your assignment is not over. But you must respond. Don't just agree with this word, act on it. Make a choice today to reclaim your purpose. Make a decision today to reset your mindset. Make a covenant today to live by kingdom principles, not worldly pressure. And if you feel fear creeping in, if your past screams that you're not qualified, I want you to hear this. You were born for dominion. That's not a slogan. That's your origin. That's your DNA. And the same God who called you is the same God who will empower you, equip you, and establish you. But you've got to step out of the boat. You've got to leave the comfort zone. You've got to trade safe for significant. You've got to choose calling over convenience, because destiny will always cost you something. but insignificance costs more. Let me ask you something bold. What if everything you've been through was training for what you're about to build? What if your pain was preparation? What if your rejection was redirection? What if your quiet season was the womb of your legacy? I believe God wastes nothing. I believe every moment, every failure, every delay, every door closed, every lesson learned, it's all been part of the process of shaping you into a kingdom builder. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. And when you combine experience with vision, and vision with principles, and principles with obedience, you become unstoppable. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs people of substance. It needs kingdom leaders who know who they are. It needs pioneers who are not afraid to disrupt the status quo. And that's you. Yes, you. Reading this right now. I'm not talking to the person next to you. I'm talking to you. The one who's felt overlooked. The one who's wondered if they still have time. The one who's quietly been crying out, "Lord, use me." He hears you. And he's saying back to you, it's time. It's time to rise. It's time to rebuild. It's time to reignite the vision. It's time to lead. You cannot lead what you don't understand. So seek kingdom wisdom, align with kingdom principles, and then build with kingdom confidence. And I want to speak directly to the fear that has been gripping your spirit. That voice that says, what if I fail? Here's my response. What if you succeed? What if everything God showed you in the secret place is not just a dream? It's your next reality. What if your obedience unlocks the door for hundreds, thousands, even millions to come into their kingdom identity? Your legacy is not measured by your comfort. It is measured by your courage. Fear is natural, but it cannot lead you. You were not given a spirit of fear. You were given power, love, and a sound mind. So take the first step. Build the blueprint. Write the vision. Start the business. Launch the ministry. Mentor the next leader. Serve the community. Pray over your children. Declare kingdom culture over your home. Lead your marriage with honor. Show up to the vision even when no one claps. Because heaven is clapping. God is watching. And if you stay faithful to the process, your legacy will shape nations. You may not see all the fruit in your lifetime, but if you plant kingdom seed, you will leave kingdom trees for others to eat from. That's what Jesus did. That's what Paul did. That's what you must do. So this is my call to you. Reclaim your assignment. No more delay, no more excuses, no more spiritual confusion. You were not called to wander. You were called to build. You were not called to exist. You were called to establish. The kingdom is within you. Now bring it out, speak it, live it, walk it, multiply it, pass it on. You are not just living for today. You are building for eternity. And when your time on earth is done, may it be said of you, they walked in dominion. They lived with purpose. They left a legacy. That's my prayer. That's my commission. That's your calling. Now go and build.